Welcome back to the channel. If you want to skip the different parts of this video, timestamps are in the video description. Just click on the time and that'll take you to the relevant part. Hey guys, how you doing? So the Apexi AFC Neo, how does it work? So I'll just start from the basics. AFC Neo, it adjusts the MAF signal going to the ECU. So it will either amplify that signal going to the ECU or reduce that signal. The MAF sensor signal tells the ECU how much air is going into the engine, and then when the engine knows how much air is going in and it also knows the RPM, it can adjust the timing and the amount of fuel going into the engine to ensure the engine works correctly. Basically that's it. The MAF sensor measures the air going into the engine, and the AFC Neo, Super AFC, whatever it is, the AFC Neo is the one that's out now. This adjusts the MAF sensor signal, and it does that so to adjust the amount of fuel that the engine is that the ECU is putting into the engine. So by reducing the MAF signal, you can reduce the amount of fuel going in the engine, and by increasing the MAF signal going to the ECU, you can increase the amount of fuel that the ECU puts in the engine. It's really a fine tuning. It's for fine tuning. It is not for major changes to the engine. You know, you can adjust it by plus or minus 50%. On older cars, I don't suppose it wasn't so critical. I'm thinking on the newer cars, or 10-20% is probably the most you want to change it. Maybe they give you a check. Maybe they give a check engine light if it's manipulated too much. But by and large, it is a nice and simple way of adjusting the amount of fuel going into the engine. Much more simple than intercepting the injector harness, because that's going to be an extra 6 cables possibly that you need to get into, and whereas the MAF signal, you just have to intercept one wire, so obviously that's much easier. Like I said, very effective way of adjusting the fuel, and like for fine tuning, personally I don't really see anything wrong with it, because there is that tolerance built into original software maps, that the air at X RPM can vary quite a lot depending on the temperature and the pressure of the air. Some of the negative, well, it could be negative, it could be positive, it depends what you're doing with it, depends what car it is. But adjusting the MAF signal also has the potential to alter the ECU will also probably, more than likely, want to adjust the ignition timing according to the MAF signal and the RPM. According to the load that the ECU thinks that the engine is under, that is going to alter the ignition timing. And also leaner mixtures tend to take longer to burn. So if you're reducing the MAF signal, you could be advancing ignition timing, and if you're retarding if you're amplifying the MAF signal going to the engine, it could be retarding the ignition. So there is that to bear in mind with it, that you're not only, even though you're just altering the MAF signal, you can also be altering the ignition timing.